go berserk. Because why? This is the teaching they have. They have such a shallow understanding of words. But they don't care about the essence. This is the big problem. When you become fanatical about things that are external and you don't care about the essence, then you lose the whole substance of what is meant. So what is sanam and what is the asnam? Sanamun is singular, asnam is plural. And the least of the meaning, which is popular, is something sculpted. Something that takes a physical form. Right? Either in the form of a sheep or a goat or a cow or a human being or a tree. And so people felt that was the asnam. But deeper analysis of the Arabic language tells us that a sanam or asnam is anything that is obeyed in the disobedience of Allah. Anything you and I hold on to that takes us away from the obedience of Allah is a sanam, the plural of which is asnam. So what I'm showing you again, this narrow vision of timthal or tamathil or sanam or asnam to be like a physical feature of something is a limited vision of it. Because right away you can see there is no asnam here. We don't have asnam in our homes. Our masjids don't have asnam. Islamic organizations don't have asnam. Muslim countries don't have asnam. So are you willing to say, can you convince with the Qur'anic dictation that Muslims don't have idolatry? You'll be out of your head if you know who Muslims are. There are more different kinds of idolatry than the ones that take the shape of trees and animals and human beings. There are many things which humans who call themselves people of religion are committed to in their daily life, which take their energy and their time and their attention, that caress their focus, that they have so little energy and time for divine guidance. And that was what Abraham was questioning his community about. So Abraham asked them the question. He said, هَلْ يَسْمَعُونَكُمْ إِذْ تَدْعُونَ? Do these images, figuratively, these lifestyles, these perceptions that you have made into lifestyles, either physically or figuratively, either in the form of political heroes or human heroes or ideas or ideologies or whims or fancies, do these things really hear you when you call to them? أَوْ يَنْفَعُونَكُمْ أَوْ يَضُرُّونَ? Or do they do you any good? Or if you don't submit to them, will they harm you? And the response is similar. قَالُوا بَلْ. They said, they may not really do us any real good or harm, but وَجَدْنَا آبَاءَنَا, we found our ancestors. كَذَلِكَ يَفْعَلُونَ. There is something that is very predominant with the dialogue of Abraham and his community that you and I should take note of. Don't read the Qur'an that it has stories. that has no relevancy to people like you and I, who are responsible for the life we live and are responsible for the society we are part of, because we can either remain doing what we are doing and just continue to build the status quo, or we can change what we are doing and feel we have something better to offer society. So let us review the important points of Abraham's dialogue with his parents and his society. The first thing, it is telling us that we have a responsibility to our household. Abraham had a responsibility to his mother and father. And no matter how good and nice our parents are, and we should always be full of love and appreciation and gratitude, guidance is something that is not guaranteed to anyone. In as much as I love my parents, and I'm certain you do yours, there is no proof in the Book of God or in life that parents are born with guidance of Allah. You and I, who have the opportunities that perhaps parents did not have an extra responsibility. If we see our parents are not on the path of divine loftiness, it is our responsibility, with love, with respect, with kindness, to question what they're doing. We don't go along with them because they are our mothers and fathers. Oh, this is my mother and father, this is right, it has got to be right because they have done this. And this example of Abraham is not an example for you and I to read it and take it as a qissa. It's an example for us to learn something from it. We need to question what our parents are doing. We need to question what our society is doing. Otherwise, we will become a product of that society. We will do things as we have done it before, and we will continue to do it. Maybe our children will follow us, and like us, if you ask them, why do you do this? Well, I saw my father doing it. I saw my mother doing it. And our predicament will be their predicament. It may vary in degrees. But this is not the meaning and the essence of divine guidance. So, what we notice that people who are committed to anything other than the guidance of Allah are committed with everything they have. Just look at people in society. Travel the Muslim world, and you see the commitment of these Muslims to traditions, to rituals, to culture, other than the Book of Allah. Because the Qur'an is not taught in any Islamic school. In Canada, in Pakistan, in Arabia, in India, in the Arab world, the Qur'an is not taught. The Muslims are afraid of the Qur'an because they will have to change their whole culture, because their culture is not based on the Qur'an. And that's why the results is not the results of the Qur'an. So what Abraham's dialogue told us, that people are committed to the religion of their forefathers with almost everything. And I grew up in a non-Muslim environment, predominantly non-Muslims. And 99% of the Muslims had no rational explanation for what they were doing, as I see with Muslims now. But this is a cultural thing. And there's all hopes and all wishes